Boss runbacks. You love to hate them, and, well, you probably just hate them. But where did they go? And more importantly, should they come back? Like me. Over the years, many things have changed about the Souls-like formula, and some things have been completely left behind. But is that a good thing? Specifically, I am talking about the phenomenon known as a boss runback, something that Demon Souls took to an extreme, and Elden Ring all but abandoned. For those of you who have maybe never played the older Souls games, a boss runback is a phenomenon where a bonfire or grace, or whatever it's called in the game you're playing, is placed at a specific location that forces you to fight your way through at least a portion of an area every time you go to attempt a boss. So when you die, you end up back at that checkpoint, and then you have to fight through everything all the way to get back to the boss arena again. Compared to the more modern Elden Ring style of placing the grace right outside or not far from the boss arena. Now, to someone who has never done a boss runback, it probably sounds like the worst thing ever. But to those of us who have experienced them, I mean, yeah, they're pretty bad. But even though they suck, I think they are an important part of the original Souls-like formula, and I'm not so sure that leaving them behind isn't a mistake. So why? Why would the boss runback possibly be a good thing? Well, to put it simple, it adds variety to the difficulty. One of the common critiques of the Souls games is that the boss fights are essentially just a study hour in which you learn patterns and then take the test. What a boss runback does is it provides a resource management aspect to the fight because you have to make your way back to the boss trying to take as little damage as possible so you can preserve as many heals as you can. That is, if the runback is designed in a way that keeps you from just running past everything. One of the most infamous runbacks is the Smelter Demon from Dark Souls 2 in the Iron Keep, and it gained its reputation from being almost unskippable. The enemies and environment are laid out in such a way that if you try to run past everything, you will most likely die to a mob of enemies or just fall off the edge into the lava. Now, I am not advocating for more of this runback exactly, because I hate it. Please God, no. But this is the type that makes sense, because if you can just run past everything, then why have it at all? Another thing that boss runbacks do is they provide more meaning to each boss attempt. When you know that if you die, you will not only have to start the fight over again, but you will also have to redo the entire treacherous journey back to your lost souls, and should you die, they're gone forever. This adds to the pressure and subsequent satisfaction upon victory. Not to mention, if you dropped a decent stash of souls when the boss killed you, the runback itself can feel kinda like a boss, because you're trying to get back to your precious lost souls before they are gone for good. Now you might be hearing this and thinking, okay, but that sounds like it would just get old really fast. And you are right. I don't think boss runbacks should make a complete comeback, only a partial one. A runback every boss, I think, would be a mistake. This is almost what Demon Souls did. Now, if you made it this far in the video, you might be enjoying it. So consider leaving a like, subscribe, and maybe even become a channel member. And if you don't, then you'll have to start the video over again at the beginning and then watch all the way back to here. I think a healthy blend of the Elden Ring sort of rapid repeat style and the Demon Souls brutally long runbacks is enough to get the benefits of the runbacks without it just sucking the fun out of the game for everyone except its most hardcore players. 3 to 4 runbacks in a game can add the variety and extra punishment without overstaying its welcome. Now, I know there are plenty of people that think I'm crazy for seeing the value in some of the Souls games' most annoying parts, but if we're being honest, the Souls games are what they are because they toe the line of annoying and invigorating. So I don't think we should be so quick to just leave a piece of their origins behind. Plus, there is a third kind of nostalgia factor for those of us who have been around a while, and I would be lying if I said that there wasn't a part of me that wants a good old run back just as a desperate attempt to capture some of how those old games made me feel. But I would also say that I bet I'm not alone in that either. As for how many of us runback lovers there are versus those who hate my guts for even suggesting this, I can't say. But I'm sure I'll find out in the comments.